Welcome, welcome. See anything you like? Well, if it isn't a new face in Fairfield. What I meant to say is that we now have the new improved Purple Berry Crunch. Now with 10% more flavor. Or was it crunch? Now, there's a stumper. I'll be honest, I'm not quite sure. Volume, maybe? Breakability? Really feel like I should know this. Anyway, let's try this again. Welcome to More Perfect Goods, a proud Auntie's Choice franchise. How can I improve your day? Thanks for noticing. All part of the presentation, of course. Think success, present success, be success. It'd be a mite tricky for anyone to swipe something when I'm standing right here. Nothing gets past these peepers. I've been working the store going on a few weeks now. Got promoted shortly after Auntie's Choice liberated Fairfield. Still finding my stride with all the marketing suavities, as you witnessed. Advertising's been a right struggle to get a hold of, much to my chagrin. Well, advertising is an essential part of my business. But I haven't got any new products to advertise. Just the same stock I had yesterday. And the day before that. According to the guide, in situations such as this, I'm to consult my marketing department for new copy. Except I don't have one of those either. Never made an ad of my own before. Not sure I'd even know where to start. But you seem a perspicacious sort. Maybe you can help me draft something that'll prick a customer's interest. So, what I've got here is mostly weapons and armor. Good quality, looks mighty nice. Any thoughts on how best to pretty up the mention of them? Wow. If that doesn't move some bits, I don't know what will. Knew I had a savvy wordsmith in my midst. Thanks for all your help. Now, is there anything I can do for you? I'm sure you'll find something that'll fit your liking.
Just sort of a mascot.
I see. So, is it Auntie that you give your undying and unquestioning loyalty to, then?
Not exactly. I mean, an outsider. Mind your own business interests.
I'm simply not credulous enough to accept this is where I've ended up. Doing the work of at least 3 lackeys. Or a full half-dozen automechs. All by my lonesome. I'd welcome you, would-be consumer, but we are not a retail operation. Please visit the various consumer locations around Fairfield for all your purchasing needs. I have far too many claims on my time to be able to cater to the curious at the moment. I was meant to have help, but they lacked the barest amount of gray matter it takes to keep from getting locked up by excessive corporate malfeasance. So, I'm on my own here. Breaking my back, trying to buttress all these vines on top of all my other jobs. Oh, the bits I wouldn't pay for some of those mechs the Protectorate used to work this place. So, is there anything else, or can I get back to work? Quite the setup, ain't it? Before we took Fairfield, Auntie's Choice didn't have anything like this. Every kind of plant we've got was made to thrive in a chemical vat. But the Protectorate grows all their greens the old-fashioned way, with water and soil and actual fertilizer. I can't decide if it's adorably quaint or just plain daft. Then again, they all only have one job, so they have the time to indulge in all those sorts of archaic whimsies. Damn lucky Crabble copulators. Research mostly, some wholesale, and as the base for some small batch, highly exclusive, limited edition retail runs. Though I expect word any day that the big brains in R&D will have tweaked and twisted these plants so they're better than nature. Then we push the new product on the market. And my contract says I get 0.003427% of net after development, testing, packaging, advertising, and distribution costs. So you know, this is a pretty big deal for me. Well, I've got a lot left to do and not much time left to do it in, so you can show yourself out.
Wait. Nope. Heavens, Auntie, you scared the living daylights out of me. Shouldn't sneak up on a man like that. Good way to earn a bullet betwixt the eyes. You know, you might be right. I'm reliably certain I do not want to find out. Guess I should apologize for all that hullabaloo before. Just mistook you for another unfleshly manifestation. Sure as I am, there's a fine tale to be told there. I've got one of my own to share with a more pressing need to address. It all started the other night. Saw a personage leaving the greenhouse late. Figured it for Emily, but when I asked her about it, she didn't know what I was talking about. Happened again the next night. Gave chase that time, but lost them hereabouts. I turned a corner and they'd up and vanished. Or maybe this entity only had the strength to manifest but briefly on this mortal coral. Communication would have proven too difficult for a being of pure information. Well, maybe. I still don't know all the particulars yet, but it's one theory. I certainly won't say no to having a fresh set of lamps on the scene. Just be careful. Hate to see you disappeared like that foodstuffs.
I suppose it was only a matter of time until we were discovered. Though what an odd thing to die for. Apples. Is that not why you've come? Because you discovered our recent larceny at the greenhouse? The greenhouse's stolen bounty offered a healthy alternative to gorging ourselves on that vending machine poison. Alas, I was spotted on 1 or 2 forays. Starving? Hardly. We have greater stores of strength than you suppose. This hunger is a momentary distraction, nothing more. Such intimidation tactics will not work on me, Invader.
Is this a secret cellar? And hidden in plain sight, damn near. Guess the greenhouse thefts had a more worldly explanation after all. Well, if they're only flesh and bone protectorate, bullets should do nicely then.
Let no witnesses escape. Kill them both!
Guess I had this mystery all wrong. A small part of me was hoping... Nah, never mind. It's downright foolish. I lost a friend in the invasion. A good friend. Thought maybe all this was her trying to send me a message of some kind. Like I said, foolish. She was. Yeah. Oh, that feels good to say aloud, even if it hurts too. Romantic entanglements ain't exactly encouraged between troopers, especially in the same division. Supposedly compromises our decision-making in the field. But I digress. Thanks for your help, and for listening to my languishments. Glad someone else might remember her now, too. I'm practically a detective now. Wonder what other mysteries around here need solving.
How about I do my job and you do whatever it is you do?
No. Yes. Oh. No. No. No.
Yet you see fit to keep me in a constant state of consternation. With each unauthorized act, you jeopardize our hold of Fairfield.
Yes, but you must understand, the Protectorate citizenry is a hair's breadth from defection. Within the week, I'm certain.
Certain. Like the week prior and the week before that. Impressive foresight you wield. Should apply to join the Order of the Ascendant.
It would be difficult enough to convert the stubborn populace without your soldiers' constant, ill-advised forays.
Enough! Your yipping reminds me of my 2 old canids. I loved those canids. You, on the other hand, are trying my patience. We don't want to try Auntie's patience, do we?
No,
Auntie.
Auntie.
Yes, I thought not. Now, unless you care to see what life in the lower rungs looks like, you will both of you cease your foolish maneuvering immediately. Do I make myself clear?
Yes, Auntie.
Good. See that it is done. I will brook no more disappointments. And while you're at it, you might want to look into your security situation, Commander. I'm not accustomed to an audience when addressing my subordinates.
Who in the void? Eavesdropping on Auntie's choice business is like to get a body shot for spine. Though you're not wanting for moxie. I'll give you that.
Hold a moment, Carr. When opportunity comes visiting, perhaps it's better not to riddle it full of holes. Our new compatriot may be of assistance.
A surprisingly good point, especially from you. She only forbade us using our own personnel. Be a whole other matter were a stranger to happen to aid one of us. But which? Well, you seem an observant sort, so I expect you'll tire of Milver Street's bluster soon enough. Come see me before agreeing to whatever absurdity he proposes. Unlike him, I have some work actually befitting your time. I'll be waiting.
Alone at last. I never thought she'd leave. Now then, allow me to introduce myself. I am D.B. Milver Street, Minister of Marketing, Duke of Demographics, Commercial Condottiere, President of Promotional Material. Tell me, do you believe in signs? Everything happens for a reason. Yes, I can see that kind of line working with our protectorate demographic. I do not believe in signs. I believe in opportunities. Right now, at this moment, you and I have an opportunity to save countless lives. But I'm hardly the type to beg and ask for nothing in return. Tell me, what do you desire of this island? Who doesn't get such a compulsion from time to time? Well, if you're serious about it, I suspect we can assist one another. You help me, and I'll get you inside. Better yet, helping me shall result in our saving dozens, no, hundreds of lives. Your conscience shall be renewed. You can't blame a body for wanting to practice, can you? Fine. I'll give it to you straight then. Auntie may demand Carr and I do nothing, but for each moment I remain inactive, dozens fall in meaningless combat. I seek a persuasive method of alleviating this conflict. The Protectorate utilizes a procedure known as mental refreshment to ease the temperament of wayward subjects. The Ministry of Accuracy contains vital information about the process and where it is performed. This is the prize I seek. I previously sent a grafted soldier, Trooper Sealong, to retrieve said information, but I have not heard from her in some time. Consequently, I must presume the worst. Grafted soldiers were the subjects of the Enhanced Soldier Program, so named as its intent was to utilize nature to enhance a soldier's natural talents. Unfortunately, the program resulted in many casualties, and what few successes we had were, literally short-lived. Protectorate subjects willingly submit themselves to a kind of mental reset designed to bring them closer to the Protectorate ideal. But I have reason to believe that their system is less rigid than Protectorate leadership would claim. It's ripe for exploitation. Is there a more beautiful phrase? Yes, one additional word of warning. The good Commander Carr shall not take kindly to your working with me. Though that is a bridge most worth burning, in my estimate. An opportunity to attain my goals and stick my finger in Babylon's eye? Today's as grand as when I led in the performance department showing of Life of a Salesman. Find your way to the Ministry of Accuracy. And if Trooper Sealong is still alive, do send her back here to debrief. She's still contracted to us after all.
Well, if it ain't DB Milver Street's newest sycophant. I'm Officer Babylon Carr, and you can consider that introduction the start and end of our personable relationship. If you'd spoken with me like I suggested, mayhaps the two of us could bandy words, but you didn't. And taking sides with Milver Street means I got no use for you.
My cover story has worked. I am safely ensconced at the Vox station, assigned to the lowly Information Input and Retrieval Department. Seems a colony so certain of its absolute control over its subjects can be less than rigorous when it comes to security. I was able to easily widen out a space behind the walls of the main control room to establish my safe room, giving me unfettered access to the communication transfer conduits. I have hacked into their system downstream from the security protocols, so I am able to infiltrate their entire system with them being none the wiser. while I have little doubt as to the success of our mission, trepidation still gnaws at me, though I cannot say why. Perhaps it is simply the normal mission commencement jitters. I thought my duties complete. Information gathered, reports filed, preparations made. I'd even created a fictitious identity and work transfer to Horizon Point Station well ahead of schedule, in order to keep anyone from tracking my movements upon commencing the mission. All that was left was the waiting. Or so I thought. Then, troubling information came to light. I've seen the numbers. I've seen the equations. While I don't understand all of it, I understand enough to know it is the truth. And I am the only one in a position to act upon it, though it means the betrayal of my team and the duty I swore to uphold. But can I? I did it. They are all dead. And I am still alive. I had not expected this. I had prepared no alibi, and so felt assured my ruse would be discovered and I'd not have to carry this burden. But the complete gullibility of the Protectorate subjects cannot be underestimated, it seems. My threadbare excuse of my grievous wounds as pitchball injuries was accepted without question. I can only keep telling myself it had to be done. Something which becomes harder by the day as the rift anomaly grows in the sky. But it was all part of the plan. Wasn't it?
Keep them coming. I can do this all day.
You thought. Hey you! Get over here before you get yourself killed. Got ourselves a hero. This ought to be good. No, ain't got what I need. And you can't come stumbling around here looking like prey. These raps ain't had a bite to eat since their pods dropped from the look of it. And a desperate rapt is a dangerous rapt. Yeah? Well, I'm Trooper Silong. Inez, former combat medic, Enhanced Soldier Division. Now just a menial troubleshooter who looks to have gotten her job swept out from under her. They're always counting me out. Every single one of them. And now, they ain't even letting me finish the jobs they send me on. Kinda making it hard to prove myself here. And this rep didn't even have anything that could help my graft. This whole thing's a wash. I'm sick of it. Well, the only people who believe that are in this room right now. Including that dead rapt, I reckon. I'm considered a liability. My graph's all wrong. Most everyone else who got one passed or became permanently incapacitated. So they shuttered the program. It was a total failure. Everyone in Fairfield reckons my time will come soon, too. But I'm still mostly upright. For now. I just know I can do more for Auntie and for the war. It's just this damn contract. Unless I can amend it so I might fix my graft, proving myself ain't happening anytime soon. weren't many of us grafted soldiers to begin with. To think I'm one of the lucky ones. No. Enhanced Soldier Division was the fancy public-facing name for the grafting program. And when I say it was shuttered, I mean completely fucking demolished. Bet they'd erase it from the financial records if they could. It was that much of an embarrassment. In the wake of such a failure, it's left us grafted folks with no support. I only been able to treat my own ailments thanks to Doc Tinsley in Fairfield. She worked for the program for a time. She's a good one. She's bound by contract to work on whatever task Fairfield's illustrious leader set her to, nothing else. But she also ain't quite got the hang of the employment thing. Get the feeling you will. Anyhow, think I'll return to Fairfield to have a little chat with Milver Street. Good luck in there. Mind the wraps. I don't much appreciate you undermining my work, Minister. When have I ever not made a go of a job for you, huh? Is it so damn hard to extend a mind of trust?
Calm down. You know well it would not have been necessary had you completed your task in a timely manner.
I'll calm down when you stop braying your little excuses. How about that?
My, such aggression. You scarcely need add hostility to your list of inadequacies, Fair Trooper Sealong, no mind. The individuality encouraged by Auntie's choice sometimes inspires employees to speak out of turn. How has your progress been? Have you acquired what we discussed? Excellent! Pleased that someone in my employ can be relied upon. Here, have one of my finest suits as a token of thanks. May it aid in your capture of hearts and minds.
Again, you gave away my job and told my replacement to send me home. That don't make me wayward, and it sure as shit don't make me unreliable. If this contract weren't staying my hand, I reckon you'd be answering to it right about now.
You mean grant preferential treatment to a subpar contractor? And I suppose the bits for such a procedure shall simply manifest from the ether?
And if I die or leave, how do you reckon failure to retain an enhanced soldier would look to upper management, huh?
Please pay this disgruntled employee no mind. What would she do without Auntie's hand to guide her if she were unemployed? I should think death a preferable alternative.
That's it. I'd rather be a down-and-outer for the rest of my life than crushed under your counterfeit leather boa boot a second longer. I quit!
Are you mad? Has everyone around me gone mad? This is unheard of, and I might add, you'll not be welcome with an Auntie's choice once more. We'll not take a contract shirker back into our fold.
So you say, but Auntie's choice ain't seen a trooper like me before. You'll regret counting me out. Till then, I hope you choke on your mock apple martinis. And you, I got a proposition for you. Come find me when you're done with this clown.
She will most assuredly regret her decision, most assuredly. But I suppose that is no longer my concern. Now, where were we? Oh, yes. The acquisition of this information is but the first part of my plan to bring our foes into the fold and to ensure my future. The second is my operation in Westport. Worry not. The culmination of my plan will bring me the tools to aid you in your endeavor to enter the Vox station. Westport is a shell of the bustling town it was prior to the invasion, though a handful of Protectorate yay-sayers still cling to it. My plan requires their conversion. Verily, on to business. I've a kit of supplies to aid you, items to cajole or to dissuade. Sabotage the town or sway the citizenry. The choice is yours. Should pose no trouble for a go-getter like you. Westport represents a challenge. The challenge presented by the majority of the Protectorate. Fairfield citizenry were given ample incentive to fold, for they could see the freedom we offer firsthand. But the people of Westport are stubborn enough to risk death for their ideals and cannot be swayed by the lights of Fairfield. If I can convert them, I can convert anyone. Shh, not so loud. The hat can tell when you're questioning it. The people of Westport don't trust me. How can they? I am the enemy. I am the invader. I cannot help these people achieve salvation until I know what it is they yearn for. You are a third party. You're presumably trustworthy. I need you to act on my behalf. I say if the situation is serendipitous, so much the better. Excellent. Here's the kit. Advertisement tapes, ambidextrine, assorted stimulants, free samples of Purple Berry Crunch, everything you need to wage war on the undecided mind. With that, I shall mark the locale. Begin with the vigilant Hogarth. Motivate him to depart, and his subjects will trot in file behind him woolly cow-like. Now, I'm sure you've asked yourself, for a task so involved, shall the reward be worthwhile? Well, wonder no longer. For the completion of this deed, I'm prepared to offer you an exact replica of my one-of-a-kind, limited production, gentle person's Oxonian. Then consider yourself officially deputized in the war to further innovation and the free market. Be forewarned. I can only guess at the needs of the denizens of Westport. You must engage with them, gauge their situation. Only then can you motivate them adequately. Do I look like Officer Carr to you? Guns.
What is it? Make it quick, yeah?
All done in there? Was hoping we could chat. Hope that little dust up back there didn't put you off. My contract had me caged, and I was glad to get a few licks in during the jailbreak. Got a proposition. Since I'm newly free-ranged, and you're free-ranged yourself, thinking we ought to team up. You're going places. I want to go too. If you help me fix my graft, you'll retain the services of a fully functioning enhanced soldier. Me. Don't matter what you set your mind to, together we'll be unstoppable. And in time, maybe I'll have earned myself the clout to be welcomed back into Auntie's choice. Had a feeling you knew a good offer when you seen it. Once I'm in top form, you'll be pleasantly surprised to see what I'm capable of. Just Gotta find out how to get there first. Doc Tinsley worked with Grafts for some time before she came to Fairfield. Damn fine scientist. Reckon we should visit her lab at the edge of town to see if she's got ideas for us. After you. Appreciate you agreeing to help, but the arm's itching something fierce. Ready to do away with it. We ought to head to Doc Tinsley's, quickly if we can. Anyhow, was there something you needed, Commander? How personal are we talking? Couldn't say. I was in it all of 2 days before my graft started festering. Before that, I was an infantry medic. Our platoon was one of the first to touch down in Arcadia. I would have continued serving on the front line in an upgraded capacity, but, well, once the state of my graft became apparent, it was decided that parting ways would be best. Like garbage? I'd like to hope the captain and the surgeon who performed the operation were a bit more considering than that. Look, I knew dismissal was a possibility when I volunteered for the procedure. A successful graft is a boon, a failed one is a colossal liability. I'm a walking lesson in breakage. That's a nice sentiment. Did you pull it directly from a children's serial? Sorry. It's just increasingly clear you've not had many dealings with the corporation or its leaders. This is the way of things in Auntie's Choice. If you can't prove your worth, you're left behind. And that's why I'm here, trying to play catch-up. I miss my platoon, most of the time. I hope they're holding on okay wherever they are. Huh. If nothing else, they'll have Ortiz to keep up morale. I know the nonstop jokes from that bastard sustained me for weeks. Yeah, he's tough. He'll be all right. Of course I do. Can't help but wonder if I'm missed in return. Anyhow, I would rather return to the matter at hand. No use dwelling on those out of sight and out of mind. Right. Like ain't the word I'd use, even before I was itching to tear up my contract and set it aflame. Auntie gave me autonomy, gave me the choice to do more than just struggle to survive. They treated me better than my last employers did, and despite recent events, I believe in their mission. We can give folk here in Arcadia a better life. What, did you think I was born into it? How else do you grow a corporation to this size without doing outside recruiting? Take a look at what most systems offer, and what Auntie's Choice provides. Do the math. I'm just one of many who welcomed the chance to enlist with open arms. It ain't like we want folk to owe us for saving them, but with freedom comes new purpose. If enlisting helps these folk find themselves, then I'll be pleased to see more recruits. Now, do I got qualms with Auntie? Sure, but I'll tell you what, when she overthrew those Spacer's Choice bastards in Tau Ceti, my home system, that takeover was the best thing that ever happened to us, even if it took time to see it. But I reckon that's a tale for another day. That all you wanted to discuss, or... Fine by me? Well, like I said, we were both in the same unit. Me as a combat medic, him as a machine gunner. Everyone in my unit was from Tau Ceti, so we already had that in common. And we served on the front lines, which made us look out for one another that much more. See, most of us were laborers, and we just got our first real shot at something greater. We wanted to make a name for ourselves, and what better way to do that than become a hero? Our onboarders promised that if we demonstrated exceptionalism, showed initiative, that we'd get promoted quick. And our days of living in squalor would be far behind us. We spent a week crouched in the same foxhole under aerial bombardment. Shared water one sip at a time by the end of it. Anyone would have been friends after that. I don't know if I would have made it out alive without him. Maybe I'll tell him that over a beer one day. Praise him in front of the whole saloon. Law knows he's got a thing for heroics. Commander, has your gray matter reverted to that of a prepubescent? No, we ain't, you know. We're friends. Nothing romantic-like. But maybe could have been, under other circumstances. But I'd say those circumstances have well and truly flown. Better than I'd feared. Only had to bury 2 troopers and amputate 5 limbs. I'm thankful every day that the Protectorate can't aim for shit. He kept me clear-headed. Every so often, there'd be a lull in the bombardments, and I'd hear voices all across the field, calling out for aid, for Mama, for death. Almost got my head clean taken off when I tried to scramble out of the foxhole the first night. I heard a call for help and moved on instinct. Damn foolish of me, really. Ortiz told me not to panic, to wait till he could provide cover, to just shout first aid instructions where I could. It was too valuable to fall in battle, he said. It was a rough few nights at first, knowing I couldn't help folk who needed it. And the reward for that torment was my life. I appreciate that, Commander. In any case, I'm only standing here because of a damn fine soldier who became my friend. I'll carry that knowledge always.
Commander, your munition supplies are low. It is best we discuss acquiring more ammunition when we are next traveling together.
Because we get paid to do it. We need the money so we can buy things.
Ask them defectors if they miss anything about Protectorate life.
10 bits, they said community.
Yep.
Been meaning to say I'm real pleased with the accommodations on the ship. Ship air ain't too cold, and I ain't gotta rent space on the desk for my belongings. It's feeling, well, a little like home now. Even started drawing again. You ain't gotta say anything, just know that I'm grateful that you took me on. Thanks. Those guards are mighty agitated. And some are wearing gas masks. Yeah, something ain't right here. We should be cautious.
Looks like a fight.
Huh. Well, at least it's not shooting the water anymore. Visitors, huh? Just meandering about, free of any appointed minder? Not so sure I ought to be speaking with you. If you need someone to talk to hereabouts, I suggest you seek out Vigilant Hogarth. That tall, stately building back yonder is his domicile.
Hogarth. Milver Street reckons he's the key to converting this town. Let's bring him the good news of Auntie's choice, shall we?
Do hate to come off impolite. If you're so inclined, we can pick this up later, after you two confabulate. Word to the wise, despite what you might hear, we still consider ourselves part of the Protectorate. Anyone spots an outsider engaging in misdeeds might just open fire.
Material for perfection. From the lowliest subject to the most exalted vigilant, we must all fulfill our duty to the Protectorate. We're all in this together.
Everything, literally everything I own. Trust the plan. Preserve set progress. Yeah, in the system.
Well, it's infected. Redstone, you locked in here under your own steam and appear reasonably free of cuts, burns, or weeping lesions. So, I assume you're presently devoid of mortiferous injuries. Good. Because we've got more of that than we can handle. You haven't heard? When Antes invaded, they broke the seawall. Flooded nearly half the town below, where most of the domiciles were. A number of our subjects drowned. Others got concussed, or even crushed. A few were electrocuted or exposed to caustics. Took a while for our water purifier to catch up, so some drank tainted water, which is not good for you at all. I'm glad it's working again. Oh, we've all heard about Auntie's Choice grafting labs. Only cost you an arm and a leg. I do question their low-grade nostrums. Wireless says they are rushed to the market, might make everybody worse, hop them up, and gender dependence. Protectorate curatives are of the highest quality. So, I thank you for your advice, ill-considered as it may be. In the meantime, don't suppose you have any medical supplies to spare, do you? That you might kindly consider donating? Oh, no thank you. Not looking for anything that does more harm than good. I have enough ailments to manage already. From what I've heard about Auntie's medicaments, might poison a patient or cause them to grow an extra head or something. Never know what they're testing out on you.
My extra parts aren't side effects. That's your implication. And anyhow, I should think some minor side effects would be preferable to dying.
Honestly? Well, I'm a reasonable judge of character, and you seem upright. On behalf of my patients and I, thank you. We're all grateful. Guess outsiders aren't all just base individualists like they say on the wireless. Barring this being some tricky sales strategy, that is. This is a good start, but I fear it won't last long. Wouldn't happen to know a reliable means to procure more, would you? Oh. They'd just take us all in, provide us with all the food and medicine and housing we'd ask for, would they? Doesn't align with how I've heard them depicted on the wireless. You almost make that sound reasonable, under a highly skewed, morally vacuous light. Not seeing a wealth of options here at present. I can watch my patients die, then face execution, or we can resettle elsewhere and remain alive. I lean toward the latter. The abandoned section of Westport ought to have some supplies. Should be enough medicaments down there to help our injured survive the trip to Fairfield. It's perilous, though. Plenty of the structures below are still submerged. Others, ones that escaped being flooded, got abandoned once the Crabbles moved in. Those ought to have some supplies. If I were you, I'd try to sneak past the Crabbles out there. They seem rather territorial of late. See you when I see you.
May you realign with the paradigm.
The matriarch and sovereign chose Eden, the perfect... appeared right out of the aether. Just as I imagine our proud sentinels do. Like, here I am, your innermost thoughts are known to me, and nobody once hears from you again. Caught me reciting passages from a beacon to the cosmos, illustrating my steadfast fidelity. All subjects prosper under the guidance of our beneficent ruler, the sovereign. That part always hits me directly. To quote my personal log, an essential passage, rightful and true. Charlton Weintrott.
Informing on your neighbors, same as ever. But prudence dictates we give it a...
Me? Move to Fair? Why, even if it was still held by our proud protectorate, I've been assigned here. Everything is in its proper place within the paradigm.
Feeling distracted?
Would a true ally speak so plainly? Or coolly remark with some cryptic double entendre? Straight talk seems more the province of hidden agents, savvily angling to trick somebody. If you were a sentinel, or in some sentinel-adjacent role, I'd of course be honored to have you inspect my belongings. Unfortunately, my house is currently besieged by Crabbles. In any case, back to it.
Against seizure, sabotage, and/or manipulative induction.
Prudence dictates that we watch our neighbors, but I may just invite you over to the
wouldn't give for a big bowl of purpleberry crunch right now. Got something that needs doing, Commander?
Sit or sprint? Typical predicament for an anti-bottom runger like me. Wish I never snuck in here to begin with. Seemed like a good idea at the time. Nah, it was a great idea. So much stuff for the taking around here. Motherload of loot. Plenty to get me back in the sprag race. Just didn't... Or sprint. Typical predicament for an anti-bottom runger like me. Wish I never snuck in here to begin with. Seemed like a good idea at the time. Nah, it was a great idea. So much stuff for the taking around here. Motherload of loot. Plenty to get me back in the sprag race. Just didn't account for all these crabbles. Real fly in the old ointment. I could just sit tight, live lean off all these supplies, hope the crabbles skedaddle, or maybe open the door and bolt. Seems like a good idea. Nah, it's a great idea.
Strange. Don't know what we'd do if we didn't have you and the Vigilant looking out for us. Well now, that should do nicely. Thank you. Hope those Crabbles didn't give you too much trouble. I recognize these patients require more care than I'm able to provide here. Seems like in Fairfield, I can get them the help they require. The one last additional thing we'll need is for Vigilant Hogarth to agree to it. It's less a concern about disloyalty, and more my respect for his abilities. He's a skilled leader, and we could sorely use his aid, from coordinating logistics to keeping up morale. I'll surely have my hands full with my patients. His presence on the journey would save lives. See you when I see you.
Greetings. It is my esteemed pleasure to welcome you to Westport, once a shining testament to Protectorate excellence, now a picturesque example of the evils of corporatism. But where are my manners? We do not have much, but please let me offer you some victuals. Tut. I insist. Serving Unit 1. Something for the visitor at once?
Confirmative.
Perhaps you're wondering why I'd open my arms thusly for a stranger. Simple. As the guiding light for humankind, we always put our best foot forward, regardless of circumstance. I believe something still can be done. This town can be saved, its people given a reprieve. Were we to acquire the one thing vital to our existence: automech parts. What?
Comestibles served.
We of the Protectorate pride ourselves on our mech programming. Among the Vigilant, it is even considered something of a sport. We are not miracle workers, however. Without parts to work with, we've no hope of remaking our mechs to do tasks beyond their initial functions. We need repair mechs, domestic mechs, not combat ones. Serving Unit 1 here is about as much as can be accomplished without replacement parts.
We are bound to inform you that you have entered a recreant locality. Record states as follows.
Recalibrating a mechanical is not simply a matter of flipping a few switches. We'd need variable gears and essential motivators to have any hope of rebuilding their programming. Reprogramming mechs to perform functions outside their assigned roles is a complicated affair. Our wily chief mechanist can do it, but not without parts. Unfortunately, we lack ready availability of said parts. Oh, you failed to hear the loudspeakers on the way in? The announcement we're obliged to repeat incessantly. Well, allow me to paraphrase. Protectorate law finds us guilty of treason on account of letting Westport fall prey to Auntie's choice saboteurs. These fine and decent folk don't deserve having their lives thrown away on account of my failures. If I can return the settlement to a reasonable facsimile of its previous glory, sufficiently functioning by employing mechs reprogrammed to repair and rebuild, the arbiters might see fit to penalize only me, commute the others' sentences, allow them to maintain things around here in the spirit of continuity and such.
Look around. If the Protectorate wanted to do right by you, you wouldn't be starving and wallowing in this metal quagmire. You want to help your people? Go to Fairfield.
Fairfield? Why, they're the reason we're in this mess. You'll forgive me for questioning such timely offers of generosity and kindness. No thank you, not interested. I owe it to every single person here to try. That's abundantly kind of you, though there must be something I can offer. Enough to lead and inspire those who work there, once at least. I was previously the ranking Vigilant on this island. Why do you ask? Difficult place to saunter into. Station's off limits to anyone without the highest security clearance. For anyone lacking reason to be there, it's assured suicide. In exchange for the automech parts we need, I can provide you means to get inside. Never dream of such a proposal in days of reason and quietude. Yet such is the here and now we find ourselves in. Wonderful. My unavoidable march to the gallows feels lighter already. At least now my subjects will have a fleeting chance. The parts can be found at the Euphoria Coast Automech Repair Center to the south. But do not, under any circumstances, tell those stationed there why you need them. To get inside, you will need an access pass from the Ministry of Accuracy. Since we have all been marked as traitors, I cannot create one for you here. Farewell now.
Is resilient. The system abides. But now, more than ever, we must all do our part to maintain.
Have time for a chat, Commander? This is a delicate situation. You reckon we help folk here get back on their feet? Or do what the Minister asked? Well, if we help Westport, the Vigilant has promised to get us into the box. Folk here could rebuild their community. Maybe. But it's only delaying the inevitable, if you ask me. If we convince these folk to join up with Auntie's Choice, they can start new lives away from the Protectorate guillotine. They'd be grateful once they see what we got on offer. Plus, the Minister's deal was clear. Do this, and he'll tell you how to gain entrance to the Vox. So you'd still get what you're after. The whereabouts of DeVries, right? Come on, Commander. Westport's damn near underwater, and the Protectorate are claiming everyone they're in to be traitors. Barring some mass change of heart, it's a matter of time before these folk get struck down by their own. The Vigilant seems a decent enough sort, but he's just one man. You want to give these folk a real shot at living? Send them to Fairfield. I'll respect your decision, Commander. He's asked us to go to the ARC, right? That's south of here. So I hope you like long strolls along the coast.
I inhaled so much dust and debris. I was sad for a moment because my house got submerged in the flooding. But then the wireless told me everything was splendid. Now I feel much, much better.
Looking a mite marginal, Commander.
No, I just feel sad for them. It's even in their name. Auntie's Choice.
The matriarch. With and through sometimes challenges do arise. We all know how invasive.
You're thinking about it, Side. There is little difference between the gifts the Protectorate provides for us through the Paradigm and the gifts we receive from outsiders moved by the Paradigm to provide for us.
Auntie's Choice. So don't fret. The system is resilient. The system abides. But now, more than ever, we must all do our part to maintain it. Keep doing your job.
Glad the wireless told me that I'm happy and everything's fine.
Dictates that we watch our neighbors, but I may just invite them over to make it easier.
Under Protectorate law, we are bound to inform you that you have entered a recreant locality. Record states as follows. All inhabitants are declared treasonous due to insufficient zeal in defense against seizure, sabotage, and/or manipulation.
Almost missed the routine certitude in my assigned profession.
Our enemies envy our prosperity, disdain our sense of community. They sneer at our contentment.
For me, and as always, it is parasite-free. The paradigm epitomizes the pinnacle.
Next up, the real reason wireless-free Arcadia exists. Advertising. Your co-worker rivals get sleepy after consuming a full midday meal.
Not me. I stay hungry.
Auntie's Choice Stay Hungry Meal Pack. Whoever said humanity can't exist on bread and water never met you. Auntie's Choice Stay Hungry Meal Pack, featuring our finest pre-sliced bread and dehydrated water tablets. Specially designed to be eaten alone.
Must be at least a few usable parts in here. Aha! Ah, it worked. Just like everything else. Hello there. You wouldn't happen to have found any usable parts in all this debris?
This is one of my favorites.
Westport's stockpiles of replacement parts are nearly depleted. I need to find some parts to convert some of our auto mechanicals, non-combat parts. Fortunately, there's nothing here that's salvageable. Auntie's bombs sure take their toll, don't they? Let's just say to fill Westport's needs. If you follow the road heading north, you can't miss it. Used to be a sight to behold, but the war hasn't been kind to it. To any of us. True enough. A few years ago, I couldn't have imagined us running short of anything. And now here I am, digging through scrap for parts. But I digress. Was there anything else? Need to get back to my hunt, you understand? Yes and no. The bombs certainly took a fierce toll, but I suspect these were all in various states of disrepair even before Auntie's offensive, which has made sorting out where to begin my efforts here rather difficult. There should be a manifest somewhere, but it's nowhere to be found. Nor are the troopers who should have been escorting this. Where are their bodies? These were stalwart defenders of the Protectorate we're talking about here. Not the spineless stumblewits that comprise the forces of Auntie's Choice. No. Some other unfortunate fate has befallen them. Could have been any manner of terror brought upon us by Aunties. Yes and no. Nor are the troopers who should have been escorted. But the guard at Westport has always made a point of culling them with automechs so they don't get out of hand. That is more than likely a safe wager. Who knows what kind of new terror they faced at the end of their lives. Likewise. And please inform me if you happen upon any usable parts.
One reason simple, yeah, to kick workers into gear. Auntie asked for new stem that keeps time crystal clear. Test subjects worked all day, but they shit out all their brains.
Who goes there? By orders of Marshal Donaldson, no one comes or goes to the Automech Repair Center without approval. What's your business here?
Now you've done it. Slowing down a ranking Protectorate official is worth 10, 20 demerits if you're lucky.
All right, let's not lose our heads over a simple misunderstanding. You're free to pass. Marshal Donaldson likes to greet new arrivals personally. We'll let him know you're inbound, so no one shoots on sight. Oh, and fair warning, watch out for xeranium gas. We sprung a leak. Nothing too bad, aside from the headaches, nightmares, missing teeth, and headaches. One more thing. Don't cause any trouble around these parts. Donaldson runs a tight ship and has zero tolerance for lawbreakers.
That popular favorite was requested by Carlson Fidel, thinking of their family in Halcyon. Let's hope our War of Liberation brings the brave employees of said colony the products they need to survive in time. Now, here's a song to take your mind off your worries. Unless you're being hunted by a pack of raptidons or some such.
All that matters is getting these automechs to the Vox relay station.
But Marshal, we must adhere to decontamination procedures.
What in the name of the architect? Oh, right. My guards told me to expect a new arrival, right before our chief mechanist decided to harangue me with the latest on our catastrophe.
Marshal, you're acting as though I'm not standing here auguring the impending doom of this facility.
Woodrow, normally I would be obliged, nay, happy, to receive your senseless jawing, but not today. Perhaps this outsider can assist where you've failed. I hope you've come to help, because a crisis is bearing down on us, and I've a dearth of reliable hands with which to manage it. You see, Woodrow, why, at this rate, we'll have the facility up and running in little to no time.
That's what scares me, Marshal.
Like you, me and my consternated head technician are new arrivals, though we may not last long if we fail to repair the uranium leak. I wouldn't have put it in those terms, but I appreciate someone who speaks their mind. The Vox relay station needs our automechs. But until that leak is fixed, this facility is a target for the sport of Auntie's armaments. Delphinia Bryant is working on a prototype uranium shield. Whoever uses it will be less disposable and more useful to the Protectorate. That's the spirit. You've got gumption, nerve, and daring do. Almost reminds me of myself.
Marshal, those automechs have been corrupted with uranium. I can't even cogitate on what they're capable of if we lack the time or resources to approach this rationally. Should they go berserk, we may well be turning the very subject you intend to resupply into their victims. We'd be branded as traitors.
Then perhaps you had better explain to Brigadier Montelli why his defenses are grounded. And you can do so personally, in the comfort of his office.
Montelli? I rescind my objection. May the delicate workings of the paradigm point us toward a better way.
There's a good fellow. Cleave to your loyalty, and it will never steer you wrong.
Oh, unfamiliar clientele. I was just lamenting the lack of new faces around here since supplies stopped arriving. And then you walk in. Name's Hazel. I'm sort of the acting quartermaster around these parts. You need any supplies, talk to my friend the quartermech here. You'd think that a fully stocked auto-mechanical repair center would have automech parts, and 9 times out of 10 you'd be spot on. Trouble is, a bunch of supplies went missing recently, right around the time the quartermech completed a routine inventory. Delphinia's lab would be the place to search. We use it for storage, and our records indicate the supplies were present and accounted for. Are you acquainted with Delphinia? She's a scientist on loan from the Vox Relay, helping with the uranium leak and all. Delphinia is not very nice. Or maybe she just doesn't like me personally. Anyway, she's very talented, and I'm glad she's helping out. And I'm never going within 10 feet of her again. Best of luck in your search. Let me know if I can be of assistance.
This episode of Big Gain Hunter, we take you to the battle-worn planetoid of Eden.
See you soon, I hope.
Invasion is currently in process.
I'm Pierce Huntley, VP of Digital Exploitation.
What brings you to this fine establishment?
Outsider. Profit safari across the Arcadia
Stay true, outsider.
Everyone from
lower management to members of the board tap into each planet's zoological equity. Every episode, I focus on a different species to tell you the risks. Ah! Watch out for its tusks!
A new arrival. Oh, and what's this? You, I dare say, are exhibiting clear signs of zeranium exposure, stranger. Fortunately for you, you appear to have a fairly mild case. I imagine you haven't even noticed any symptoms yet. If you'd indulge me, I have a few questions I'd like to ask, for medical posterity, and so on and so forth.
Brought to you by Auntie's Choice Adrenatime. Work harder, not smarter.
First question, can you describe the conditions in which you were exposed to the zeranium? I'll mark it down as haphazard meandering then. All too common these days. More dangerous than one might think.
A scenic piece of real estate.
All right, next question. How are you feeling? For instance, do your bones seem noticeably softer somehow? Have you observed any sterility on your way in? Or aching in your thyroid or spleen?
Crabbles as the star wingers of the animal kingdom.
Well, good for you. Keeping a positive attitude can often aid your recovery. I wish more of my patients shared your optimistic disposition. As a token of my appreciation, allow me to provide you advanced zeranium therapy of the highest possible quality.
Wallop up close. The bullet claw breed
There,
loves plasma.
that should do it. Do stop back in if you suffer additional exposure. I would love, be pleased to act as your consulting physician again, should the need arise.
Consider the habitat. Crabbles on Paradise.
Normally, I'd say to ask the quartermaster, but he died a few weeks. Failing that, I imagine you could ask the technicians here. One of them.
Hammer claws on yonder beach. Let's go close the deal. Huh. Beach is empty. Not a creature is stirring. Someone on my team is getting quite the vigorous dressing down. Wait, what's that in the sand? They dig! They can burrow! Underhanded rascals! Security team! Shoot them! How could you let anything that big sneak up on me? All right, okay, I'm fine. Just let's crack the shell and see what's inside. Crabble meat is fragrant and inedible. The chemistricians in anti-R&D can
Oh yes, I adore interruptions. I was just saying, what's best for stoking the spark of invention? Regular disruptions to one's train of thought. Now what is it you want?
You're limited only by your ingenuity and risk tolerance for being clawed to pieces. I've had enough of that for one.
Our good Marshall sent you, did he? Well, unfortunately, the device is taking longer than expected.
To your bottom line.
Assist me, and you'll get more than bits out of the equation. You'll get a prototype shield gadget, the first of its kind. Now tell me, are you familiar with zeranium gas?
Standout number. Assuming you have taste.
I haven't time to prattle unnecessarily, no. But my current project is of utmost importance. An active discussion is sometimes known to lead to a breakthrough. I could speak at length about zeranium's many captivating intrinsic qualities, but suffice it to say, in its gaseous state, it's rather deadly. So what am I endeavoring to create? A protective device that shields its wearer from zeranium's remarkably unsavory effects, as well as other forms of harm.
Adult rickets. Dysentery.
Quite splendidly, if I do say so myself. The principal function of the device is confirmed operational. I merely need to work out some minor implementation concerns. Alas, while I'm occupied with inventing this shield gadget, I also find myself in need of assistance regarding its key components.
You're gonna be unconscious via any means.
Good, good, wonderful. As an added incentive, I'll allow you to keep one of the prototypes once the work is finished, so you be sure to give it your all. Now here, you'll need this apparatus. It's for collecting stray zeranium effluvium. Gas, that is. My supply is running low from all the iterative testing I've been performing. Merely activate the device once it's inside a zeranium cloud, the one around the main hangar specifically. Try to avoid any fields of dense uranium, or death is all but assured. Any questions? Normally, yes, but on the off chance that environmental exposure has altered the gas here in any way, I'll want to work with local samples. Ideally, the resulting shielding will protect against any gas, but since it's of utmost importance that it work on the gas here, I'll be calibrating against that. Oh, so exhilarating to have a new subordinate. I look forward to thoroughly scrutinizing your work. Now, shoo-shoo! Off with you now! Gather those samples! Shoo!
Commander, I think this stuff is eating my...
You're gonna be unconscious via any means. You wanna be so sleepy, just grab a pill, it's easy. Just rest your tired head with the sedative, you'll feel dead.
eating my lungs from the inside.
You wanna be unconscious via any means. You wanna be so sleepy, just grab a pill, it's easy. Just rest your tired head with the sedative, you'll feel dead. Sleep tight with sweet dreams.
My little minion. I trust you've made progress in your tasks?
And now, a word from our...
What did I tell you? Perfectly safe. Either that or you tolerate uranium poisoning like a champ. Good for you. Should you suffer from any lingering symptoms of contamination, visit the medical center and they'll get you squared away. Now, on to business. The device already generates a field exactly as specified, albeit on a very small scale. Still, progress is progress. What's needed now is something to help extend and shape the field around the user.
We're rushing it to market, following a modicum of testing.
I require a component called a catalytic amplifier. You'll be pleased to learn there's one right here at the facility, in the Dragoon that's patrolling just outside.
What nature made accident.
You would imagine so, wouldn't you? Unfortunately for me, our chief mechanist, Woodrow, wasn't enthusiastic about my proposal to gild his only combat automech.
Right. Moving on.
So you may have trouble getting your hands on the catalytic amplifier.
Melodies.
Oh, certainly. They're all in the building blocked by uranium gas, which is why we're making the device. I trust you see how that's a problem. However, I do recall hearing this facility was originally assigned 2 Dragoons. I'm not sure what happened to the other one, though. It was gone by the time I arrived. I'm sure he's just being cautious. Should Auntie's choice attack us, we don't want to be caught defenseless. No doubt he also seeks to retain an unspoiled automech, since the others are by now riddled with uranium poisoning. Dragoons are a mainstay of our military. The design has been in production for decades. I had a model of one when I was young. All children did. You must have seen the large automech patrolling the interior grounds. That is the Dragoon. Good. A flexible mindset should behoove you on this task. Perhaps the chief mechanist will prove more receptive to your request. Failing that, be prepared to exercise creativity if needed. One last thing. The Dragoon must not be harmed. Not only would the amplifier likely be damaged, but we'd both be summarily executed, assuming we survive the firefight that ensued. Well, off you go. Shoo.
Artificial purple coloring that has a little added kick to get you going in the morning.
Outer chassis sealant test number 14 is confirmed a failure. Uranium exposure rate appears to be unaffected. Test model displayed standard overload-induced chaos.
When you drink purple berry tequila.
Yes, it's the only tequila that'll pick you up and never... real artificial purple coloring that has a little added kick to get you going in the morning.
Outer chassis sealant test number 14 is confirmed a failure. Uranium exposure rate.
When you drink Purple Berry Tequila.
Yes, yes, it's the only tequila that'll pick you up and never let you down. Try Purple Berry.
Shake a day that you wanna forget. Wake the next morning, not a great regret when you drink Purple Berry Tequila. Make the most of what you earn. Take a ride on that purple worm when you
Honest to goodness broadcasting for straight shooters across Arcadia. This is Wireless Free Arcadia. Will Wireless Free Arcadia report hearsay if it makes the competition look bad? So now, hear this juicy rumor from Protectorate territory. Frontline Scuttlebutt has it the Sovereign is missing in action. He's supposedly their great thought leader, yet he has disappeared from public view, seen in neither moon nor station. What's the story here? We see Auntie all the livelong day, cutting deals, driving profits. And the Protectorate's console has been the life of their joyless shindig lately. Quite the go-getter. He's supposed to be the Sovereign's top VP, his muscle. Seems highly involved in their whole totalitarian operation. The Sentinels, their secret police, reportedly answered to him. Makes you wonder if the console is really running the show. Who knows? We have all the jigsaw pieces, but no puzzle. When we do suss out the real story, you will be the first to know. Now, on to other things. I don't know about you, but I could use something a little more upbeat right about now. Like this.
Well, any closer to obtaining the catalytic amplifier? Oh, superb! I'm almost tempted to ask how you managed it. But pressing on, just a moment to remove what I need and install it in the prototype. With this gadget, you'll be shielded against more than Zeranium, you know. Damn near everything, as long as it's charged. Now, report to Marshal Donaldson, if you please. He's rather impatient to end this crisis so he can turn his focus back to the war. You do that. Anything to keep him off my back for an hour. Ah, my erstwhile assistant returns. To what do I owe the pleasure? Now that you mention it, there was one particularly insistent little mech who kept trying to put all manner of bric-a-brac in here. After several firm remonstrations, I told it the interior of this building is off limits while I am working here. Didn't see that peculiar little scamp again after that. Until a more convenient date and time.
Choice family is large and willing and able to grow larger.
We represent an amalgamated collection of dozens of different companies, making everything from bandages and salves to weapons and ammunition.
If you can eat it, drink it, smoke it, shoot it, or turn it on, Auntie's Choice makes it, grows it, or smells it.
Come join Auntie's family. Help make us even larger.
Now, upward and onward. This one always makes me pretend I have the sun in my eyes. Next up, the real reason wireless-free Arcadia exists: advertising. The stamen of a typical Arcadian Titan flower, or Colossicus arum, is responsible for dumping several pounds of dander into the local atmosphere each pollination cycle. Multiply that by the dozens surrounding most plants and the many other flowering megaflora native to the colony, and you have a recipe for gunky eye, goop lung, post-nasal flooding, and worse. Unless you stockpiled Falderall's mollifying demulcent. An equal release from Arcadian allergens of all kinds. Falderall mollifying demulcent. And breathe easy once again. Falderall, the most trusted name in exo-anti-allergenics.
Yes, well, enough of that, I suppose.
I consider this and outnumber. Assuming you have taste, you surely will as well.
Think of day that you wanna forget. Wake the next morning, not a trace of regret when you drink purple berry tequila. Make the most of what you are. Take a ride on that purple worm when you drink purple
Outsider.
tequila.
First the attack, then there's Iranian. At this rate, we're never getting caught up.
Thank the Sovereign the leak has been fixed. I fear I'd lose my mind if I had to run one more of those sealant tests.
Lose your troubles, aspire and scheme with the temporary boost of self-esteem. When you drink purple berry tequila.
Say, looking for big fruity flavor and plausible deniability for your own whereabouts? Then take a ride on the purple bread worm with purple berry tequila.
Nutrient-free with just a dash of industry. When you drink purple berry tequila.
It's loaded with additives and preservatives, made with 100%.
Consider finding a human companion.
Stay true, outsider.
Conversation.
To get you going in the morning.
Welcome. Glad to... Howdy there. Glad to hear it. Any progress? Interesting. But what connection do you perceive between this behavior and the disappearance of the supplies? I know the supplies can't have gone far. Beyond that, I leave the investigation in your hands. Let me know how it goes. I do love a good mystery.
Shake top days, wanna forget. Wake the next morning, not a trace of regret when you drink purple berry tequila. Make the most of what you earn. Take a ride on that purple worm when you drink purple berry tequila. Play hard. So have another purple berry, have another purple berry, have another purple berry tequila.
At the junction of opportunity and runaway gumption, you'll hear Wireless Free Arcadia, featuring product advertisements specifically tailored to free-thinking individuals. All Auntie's Choice employees, we're receiving word of a mishap at the Audacious Advances Research Lab. An unfortunate leak with an experimental agent. Supervisor Omid Ormsby, currently sealed inside, is specifically requesting assistance. People with medical training preferred. He adds, quote, please be mindful of any murderously aggressive personnel on your way in. They are not accountable for their actions. Find me within the silo, unquote. Good luck, Supervisor Ormsby, and any hapless medical specialist who answers this call. The Audacious Advances Lab, you'll no doubt recollect, is on the east side of the island, on the former site of the Eden's Bounty Agri-Center. Now, on to other things. This is one of my favorites, though, admittedly, I'm far from discerning.
Need something? Or just here to talk? The roof! How could I have missed that? In retrospect, the problem is glaringly obvious. The quartermech couldn't figure out where to stack boxes on the x-axis, so it defaulted to the y-axis. I'll have that tinkered on shortly. And you're welcome to keep the automech parts, of course. Thanks for solving my little mystery.
Well, look who it is. What is it this time? Oh, gladly. What would you like to know?
He was hiding. Would be fair to say it was a trial by fire. It was a natural, and he quickly learned to make a red hot deal without getting burned. He was unscrupulous, and he. Quickly rose. When you do your business, raise the purchase, anything goes.
Look who's back. Don't suppose you checked in with Vigilant Hogarth yet, eh? Oh, glad to hear. Probably sprung an important task on you afterwards, I'd wager. I mentioned to the Vigilant how I'd reset my chef mech to prepare meals to my liking. Next thing you know, he puts me in charge of repairing all the mechs in Westport. I mean, sure. All the underlying logic's the same if you mull it over. I've been trained to run them big algae processing units, which are a fair amount more complex. It's just, subjects are expected to mind their assigned area and particular forte. So I was a mite taken aback, but I am happy to help the system abide any way I am able. I assume those are approved protectorate announcements, correct? With everyone's neighbor prudence and the like? I mean, sorry. Of course they are. Loudspeaker control terminal is in the proclamation station, a few structures over. One with the antenna. I suspect they go there. Not to indulge in idle talk, but things have been different around here of late. Not at all overwhelmed or terrified of dying, though, of course. The system abides. Much to do, truly. Toughest challenge now is upkeep of key apparatus. If that generator goes, for instance, doubt I have means to fix it. We lose power to charge our mechs, this place is done for. Final nail in the coffin, or similarly minded metaphor of your choosing. Not that the paradigm would allow that, of course. Curativist Row is a fine sword, pillar of our community. Might impatient, sure, but with how busy she is, we'd all do well to respect her time. Watch out for that wine trot fellow. Talk your ear off if you let him. Kinda lonesome, but doesn't let anybody near his place for some reason. Even before the flooding. Everybody else? Decent enough, I guess. Outsider.
You're thinking about sidewalks. There is little difference between the gifts the Protectorate provides.
Each planet's zoological equity. Every episode, I focus on a different species to tell you the risks.
Outsider.
Watch out for its
Ah, the itinerant stranger returns.
Oh, don't spill a drop of that arachnid discharge.
Certainly. What would you like to know?
Brings to the table.
I know as an outsider you may not be able to understand this, but the structure of our society is sacrosanct. If any one subject does not do their duty, it puts everyone at risk. Ours was to protect Westport when antis attacked us, with our lives if the situation necessitated it. As you can see, we failed. We're also tasked with leading the rest of the subjects, but now that I've become a traitor, the only guidance I provide is to the few left here, and I will do right by them. Is there anything else?
I'm on Paradise Island, on the Elysium moon of Eden. A scenic piece of real estate.
That is most excellent. Please, hand them over.
We'll spruce up the place once our takeover's done. For now, let's turn our attention to this episode's Leviathan crustacean, the Crabble. Think of crabbles as the star wingers of the animal kingdom, but with goring horns and bottomless bellies. They're omnivorous, a 10-bit word that means everything's on the menu. From your head to your boots.
Sincerest thanks. Now, we had what you outsiders call a deal. I promised you a means past the bridge and a way inside the Vox relay. There is wreckage from a crashed ship traversing most of the expanse. With the right equipment, the path will lead you directly to the Vox relay's main gate. Tell me, do you already have Protectorate jump boots in your possession? That's what I knew them as. The official title is Personal Plasma Thrusters, I suppose.
On Paradise Island hate a good joke. Really sticks in their claw. My security team tells me we'll find a herd of hammer claws on yonder beach. Let's go close the deal.
No, but we have an outpost up at Spire Grove. Requires a lot of cliff work. They likely have a prototype there. I'll prepare a writ of conscription to allow you entry to the Vox relay. While most would refuse my authorization, the sentry assigned to the gate once lived in Westport. Sentry second-class layman. Show the writ as proof I have conscripted you into my employ. Use it to press service on my behalf, and she will let you in. Once you're inside, there's someone else you should show it to. You do that and say what I tell you. It'd save many lives.
Crabble meat is fragrant and inedible. The chemistricians in
The Vox relay is, to my mind, a time bomb. Brigadier Montelli's lost his way. Now all manner of chaos is raging there. I've heard tell he's even resorted to extra-legal executions. Madness, I tell you. A brigadier doesn't act as judge, jury, and executioner. That's an arbiter's job. And even then, they're enforcing existing protectorate law.
Crabble juice and bid you bottoms up to your bottom line.
Marshal Corbin. As with all my subjects, I have been there when he needed me. I trust we can call on him now to do his part. Seek him out at the Vox relay, conscript him with the writ. And this is important. You must convince him to kill Montelli. Corbin will want to talk him down, to take him into custody, to message superiors outside the facility beforehand. We cannot allow any of that to happen. Good, good. Here is the writ. I may not survive to see what occurs, but I trust you to follow your conscience. Farewell now. Promise you'll return here if you can, to check in on my people and see how they fare. Oh, I don't doubt your abilities, but the prospects remain exceedingly poor. The facility is exceptionally well guarded, and forces there are the pinnacle of protectorate training. Even if you succeed, it's only a matter of time before the Arbiter arrives to administer my sentence. Any chances of me avoiding my fate are quite slim, I fear. Farewell now.
Apologies, this unit's conversation module is functioning intermittently.
Stranger? Can't imagine telling Hogarth I'm leaving. Believe I'd feel additionally traitorous once I met his gaze.
Not so long ago, on a tidally lagoon, some greenhorn tripped a valve in a chemical plant gloom. Brown sludge flooded the place. The vat manager chanced a taste. He didn't survive, but now he's got instant for slow pace. Accidents happen, it's part of the job. Hats off to our workers who lose parts on the job. Management regrets your loss, but hey, that's all when. Sometimes getting ahead means giving up a limb.
The Sovereign.
Our marketing experts predicted you would say that. Middle managers, bring out the brand loyalizer.
What is that barbaric contraption?
Think of it as our answer to your mental refreshment. Only it's 110% more effective and 120% cheaper to operate. Also has 130% more crabwitch scent. 1 minute in the brand loyalizer and you'll emerge new and improved. Bowing down to the almighty bit, a needy, greedy, consummate consumer in our target market.
Whatever you're peddling, I'll never purchase.
I suppose a demonstration is in order. Lower managers, bring in Red Cloak's turncoat companion, Sentinel Dunning.
Would pulverizing them suffice? No, I could liquefy them. Apply heat and congeal them into kibble no beast could resist. Oh, Ethel, darling, you're a genius. Approach with less haste next time, won't you? Copernicus may be tame, but he still doesn't take kindly to being startled. Oh, Inez, you look, well, like you could use an ice bath and a cup of newly formulated trip teas. Has something happened?
Something has, all right. I ended my contract effective immediately. Now I'm free to prove myself to everyone in Auntie's Choice. My way.
Well, that's wonderful news. Or is it? I admit I'm still trying to work through what contracts mean hereabouts. But you do appear to be pleased, so I shall be pleased for you. Ah, that is not common knowledge in this town. But since Inez appears to trust you, I suppose I can do the same. Before I began my new illustrious career working with our tame, scaly friends here, I was a researcher in the Enhanced Soldier Division. Oh, I was on the verge of breakthrough when they shut us down. Oh, when I think of the lives I could have reached. But in my current role, I do try to help where I can.
Where my own first aid training can't reach, Doc's got me covered. The graft knocked me on my ass for weeks when I first got it. But she nursed me back to health.
Would if I could have done more.
Got anything devoid of nutritional value I can snack on? Certainly. Consume these Auntie's Choice.
Right. I have a lead, Inez. I've identified 2 viable beasts on this island that you may be compatible with. Though it may not be easy to acquire the suitable specimens. The first candidate is the skeleton crabble. It has a rare form of albinism and was last spotted on the western coast by Protectorate scientists, who, unfortunately, went missing. I happened upon an old report of theirs along with a code used to operate their machinery. If their fate is what I suspect, the code may be of use to you.
I heard rumors of the creature myself. Our skeleton sounds a good bit larger than the average crabble. Meaner and smarter, too.
210%.
The second candidate is a Raptidon matriarch, the only one of her kind on the island as I understand it. She was last spotted in the crags near the Vox Relay.
Deep in Protectorate territory. This matriarch sure ain't making it easy for us. She'll be more aggressive and more cunning than her smaller kin.
Not once you're inside the cave. There, all you'll find of the Protectorate is an unguarded drainage pipe coming from the Vox Relay. When you breach the matriarch's lair, you must rouse her from hibernation. I found pheromones to be quite effective. Inez, I'm certain you know a formula that may suffice.
That I do.
Excellent. It'll be a rather unpleasant wake-up call for the matriarch, so she'll be upon you in moments. I suggest your armaments be at the ready. Then the grafting part is yours. Yes, though I would recommend a careful surgical removal of the specimens, please. Now, when you acquire one or both of these parts, return here straight away, and we can begin surgery. Matriarch, Law guide you both out there.
I have seen my friends and my family dressed in none to stress it. Process can remove that wrinkle, feelings that can cause a wrinkle. What I know now, those thinkable thoughts have to go. It's a quick mental refreshment. Those sentiments I felt were such a burden on me. The weight is better felt by one assigned to oversee. Thinking never made anybody happy, that I believe. Blessings offer such an effortless reprieve. Since that day, my thoughts have never been the better. The anxiety are no longer strangers. The sadness that was once inside me has long since gone, and though it tried me, I knew that I could be.
Go, Jackson, go! Don't fret. With these boots, I can fly! Help! Are you breathing? Say something! Oh, wow. I can't believe he jumped that way.
Sir, I know this isn't the time, but are they going to put us to the gallows for this?
What? No. That ain't how we operate in Auntie's Choice, Liza. We might be looking at a pretty fierce demotion for losing half our workforce and getting stuck up here, though.
Demotion to fertilizer?
No. Now cease your jawing. This ain't the time. Hey, you! You down there! Would you mind checking on our fellow? Might he have survived the fall?
After several days,
He thought those boots would make him fly, but they really just allowed the user to jump repeatedly. Unless their downward velocity is too great. If so, well, you see what happens. Not nearly as upset as we are. We've been stuck atop this machine since Ida, one of our new Protectorate acquisitions, had her gray matter scrambled by the height, jumped down, and landed right in its gears. I can't fathom no sensible motive. She joined us shortly after Auntie liberated her with the freedom of meritocracy. She seemed happy enough.
Were you not listening? She said she'd always be a loyal subject. It was part of the endless inculcation we endured in the Protectorate. It can prove insurmountable for some.
The notion that she'd sacrifice herself, even after seeing the vast possibilities in staying alive and climbing the corporate ladder, it's just impossible to cognize. There ain't no way off this platform besides jumping. You've seen how that ends. But you being down there makes you uniquely qualified to help us. The reason Jackson tried using those plasma thruster boots was to gather a piece of machinery we'd spotted on a little table halfway up the spire.
It's a drive overloader. If we install it, we can push the platform's arm hard enough to, well, to grind old Ida out of the gears.
Though the power of that overloader will deluge the system and, well, overload the drive and burn it out all permanent-like. But desperate times and all that.
So if you were to use them boots to bound up the spire and deliver the overloader to us, we'd avoid the tragic fate of our two former cohorts.
Exactly!
Turn in those who stole. It should be no simple thing to do.
What? It's your duty as a subject to...
No, Liza, remember, you're not Protectorate anymore. So, what have we talked about? A duties only.
Discharged if the disbursement is dutifully deserving. Right. Sorry, I'm just a little flummoxed by being stranded up here.
So, bits, stranger. We'll give you bits if you get us down before we starve.
Thank the sovereign... thank you, stranger. We are eagerly anticipating a long life, utterly absent of starvation.
The turning is what we all strive for.
This is Protectorate Sanctioned Wireless. Social guidance and approved messaging, punctuated by acceptable music.
Don't forget, your unthinking compliance lets the program run with flawless efficiency. Unthink is essential. Unthink today. Unthink tomorrow. Unthink forever. Well, that, as they say, is that. What's next? The following song was composed, performed, and recorded under the explicit direction of the Sovereign, and as such, reflects his excessively high standards.
Ha! Oh, your viral crop of Brachythecium rotabulum. They're found in bandages and burn tinctures.
That's it? It was that easy? That was some impressive climbing. Poor Jackson could have learned a thing or two from you. Starting with the right direction to jump, I suppose. Wonderful. Get us down, and I'll happily compensate you in accordance with standard Auntie's Choice urgently improvised extortive standards.
We've certainly found our way into a most harrowing circumstance, At least I'm glad I'm not alone. He hadn't been here terribly long, so we weren't particularly familiar. Like me, he was also former Protectorate, but he was not raised in Fairfield, so we'd never met before. Still, he seemed like a friendly, kind sort, albeit a headstrong one. I'm sorry he's gone. Please do hurry. I've lost count of how many meals we've missed, but it is closer to many than a few, and we're starving.
Oh, thank the law. I never thought of myself as a vertiginous sort, but being trapped 100 meters in the air will make you reconsider.
I mirror that sentiment, to be certain. In fact, Auntie will have to pay me triple if heights are to be involved. And isn't it grand to be in a system that allows me that freedom?
Grateful and content. Sleep sound.
I agree with Liza. I'm inclined to keep a few paces from farming equipment from now on. Here's your reward for evacuating us with all our parts intact. I perhaps ain't as awash in currency as I'd prefer, so you can have my helmet as well. It was useful for identifying crops we'd missed in our harvest. But to be honest, I'd like a little distance from plants for a spell.
Space individualists would dare set foot within sensor range. Let them. Prudence dictates those who live solely for themselves die alone. also painfully and bullet-riddled.
And now this.
Another song in an expertly curated playlist, picked out explicitly for you, the Sovereign's chosen.
Commander!
Never catch a break. Fine. Yeah, been gone a while. How'd it go? Tell me you got good news. Why, that's terrible. But you said you have the schematics? Yeah, I'll take those. What? Sovereign's finest potato corollary peeler? This was supposed to be a guaranteed bestseller. Who in their right mind would... Jackson, you idiot! Ah! It's a good thing he's dead, because if he wasn't, I'd kill him! There's no... God damn it! I'm never getting that promotion. This was supposed to be my easy path to a promotion. Must be something I can do to salvage this. Tell me, did you come across any other advanced protectorate technology while you were there? Anything more, well, easily marketable? Personal thrusters? No one would ever want such preposterous things. I'd be laughed out of recreant reclamation. Imagine, jumping about like a sprog. Ridiculous. Well, here's all I can spare in regards to your compensation. Try not to spend it all in one place. It's supposed to be categorically bad for commerce. In the unlikely event things somehow pan out and I get that big promotion, I'll see you're taken care of. Until then, take care.